this max clicks, the way that I say, hey, I don't care that they may or may not convert. I just need to get the click, and I need it to be a high quality, and I need it to be high intent. And if they convert on the first click, great. If they don't convert on the first click, the other campaign says, I got it from here. So what we did is we took a look at the main campaign that went back 90 days, said, give me the top 10-ish, the top 10, the breakouts of the keywords that work well. Those are the only keywords that we're going to be using in all of our locations. So an amalgamation, a consolidation of all of the keywords that worked in every state across the country for the last 3 months. We just took the top 10%. That's going to be our max clicks. Those are the highest intent, highest quality, highest relevancy to say, give me all of those. I want all of those clicks. So we call them the top performers. Cool. So what I'm going to do is kind of go through before and after. And this is actually kind of the new campaigns that we're staying on with. So I'm going to kind of share with you like the after graph, so you can kind of see the clicks and the conversion value kind of spike up here at the end. What this is a company, a service-based company. When people watch this in the future, everything will be kind of blurred out. But service-based company that had everything kind of consolidated into one. And what that meant was that this campaign here was kind of driving the bulk majority of the traffic. This is all the non-brand search. And what you can kind of see is at the time it was on a TCPA bidding, in a portfolio bidding. So essentially what this means is that this is going to be coming into the off season, which is what we're kind of going into a little bit of lull right before like the kind of the holiday and Q4 spike up. But the campaign was just kind of on a downturn of clicks and a downturn of conversions. And so what's nice now is if we look at kind of I'll just pull one day here and kind of do this day here. This is that same graph, everything all enabled, but you can see the conversions just kind of spike up here. And what the conversions are doing here is we separate it out.
Recent trend. Yes.
Very nice. Yep. And what's nice is actually a little bit inflated. It's only about halfway up from there. This had some duplicate conversion errors, and it's all been fixed already. But this is a little bit high. I'll dive into the actual conversion action so you can see what actually moved and for what price. So we'll go in there, but it definitely had a lot better performance as of yesterday. Now, what this is doing is we're separating out the one campaign that was on a TCPA that couldn't spend. It couldn't actually achieve the goal that it wanted to achieve because it was getting stuck by a TCPA goal. So it basically said, hey, I can't scale because I don't know who's in this area. Not, I don't think, I don't know. And that's what's the difficult issue about using just an automated bidding strategy. With a restricted bidding strategy is it's not going to be able to explore. Once you say, hey, don't spend that money unless you can achieve that result, it won't achieve the result. So we had a two-prong approach. One was it says 12 states. There's actually 9 states in here, but these 9 states, this is kind of how to implement this if you're in this area. So it's kind of like a how-to case study. It's kind of cool. And this campaign here, that had the 12 states, actually only had 9. The 9 states were like kind of the creme de la creme that this company likes to promote in. It's the best of the best states. We're going to be exploring other states, but this is a restructure. We wanted to kind of start with what happened and or like what was there and then what could be there in the future. And so we took these 9 states and we separated them out into their own TCPA campaign and then added on 5 of the states a 20% incremental of a max clicks campaign. The other 4 states had the same daily ad spend that they have been minus 20%, and that 20% was given to the max clicks. So basically the top 5 states had an incremental 20% on the max clicks. The bottom 6 states, because we added a couple states in there, only had the same spend, just divided 80-20, 80 into the existing campaign, 20% inside of a max clicks. So we're pushing in our better states and we're maintaining in our other states. So that was the divisional of ad spend. Now, when we see the kind of day over day change, and I'm going to use the Monday, I'm going to compare it to the previous Monday, just because Sunday to Monday is not a fair assessment. Monday to Monday is. When we separated them out, the same day, week over week, after we paused this campaign here, which is down 96%, you can still see that still gaining conversions here because it's being split between the other campaigns that are started. So you kind of have to take a look at all top line metrics. But once this campaign was stopped here and we pushed into the other campaigns, and I'm just going to go into the other campaign enabled. What's cool about this is we also paused Performance Max at the same time. That was kind of running on a little bit of a skeleton spend, but seemingly had kind of quote unquote good performance because it or had good clicks because it was a lot of display. So it looked like it had good performance, but it was a lot of display attribution.
Right.
And so paused that, separated them out into a larger campaign structure using a max clicks TCPA separated out by state. So you can kind of see in California has a TCPA, and then also in California, if I can find the other California, there we go. There's the max clicks. So you got a TCPA and a max clicks combined together. And now we're going to see what ends up happening in those locations. Same thing with like a Utah, same thing with Texas, same thing with Arizona, same thing with New York, same thing with Colorado. So now we have a whole bunch of new campaigns. They're actually, some of them are still learning because we're just, kind of getting started off into some. I've kind of learned a little bit already. So we're rapidly advancing through this quickly in terms of the switchover, push, and optimizations. But when we separate out the spend and the conversion action results day over day, Monday to Monday, last Monday, old model, this Monday, new model, we can see here that this is what we're counting, which is the booking info payment submitted. So these are actually people that have booked and paid. That one is up 93% day over day, 93.35. So $8,000 more. So 8,600 up to 16,000.
Wow.
And the cost for this went up $693, so 10%.
And that's in one state, though, or is that the entire campaign? Sorry,
that's the entire account.
Got it.
So the entire account spent 10% more because they said, hey, we can't scale. The thing just kind of keeps dying. As soon as we go into the off season, we would like to spend more. We just can't figure out a way to do it. And TCPA just won't spend. We tried separate out by states. We then hired a different agency. They consolidated. Got worse. And so I was like, yeah, we gotta go back to hyper segmentation so that we have a good maintenance over the control. So after separating them out and then bolting on the max click strategy at the same time, we can see that these are actually starting to, just for $693 more, we're gaining an additional $8,000. Great first day stats, like excellent. The reason why this is happening is because these max clicks campaigns, and this I'll isolate this between California and California here. So you'll be able to actually see the how this is working. I don't know how my brain doesn't pick up the word CA. Oh, there it is. All right. So if we look at these two campaigns in an isolated sense, when these, and I'll turn off the comparisons so you can kind of see the first full day of history here.
Canada or California?
California. We actually already have, we actually have a Canada account. It's in a different account. That also started, but that started day one yesterday.
Okay.
So this here, we got $1,480 in cost and $298 in cost. Now, what's cool about this is you can see that and let me actually separate this out by conversion action because it was duplicate counting. We're just going to separate those here. So we can see that this booking info payment submitted and the booking info request sent here, these are actually two different things. This one here, the TCPA actually didn't get a payment info yesterday. The TCPA campaign didn't. The max clicks, though, was really interesting. Spent $298 and got 910 actual payments. The incremental is the one that actually converted. And what's interesting about this is with a $298 cost and a $1,480 cost, so this is 5x higher, you can see 257 clicks, 256 clicks, almost the same amount of clicks. The CPCs are $5 difference, $1.16. So the difference here is this is actually two separate audiences. The way that Google is managing, maintaining, and optimizing and viewing is two separate audiences. Go ahead. It seems like you want to interject.
It would seem like it would be the exact opposite as far as spend. It should be. Like max clicks should be like 5x more than TCPA.
Right.
All right. So but this is expected.
Yeah, so this is what's funny is max clicks is not going after buying conversions, it's buying traffic. The TCPA is buying the traffic, buying the conversions.
Right. And because the CPC is so much lower. All right. Now I got what you're saying. So but you're not limiting your budget. Like your max clicks, you still want it to be spending. What's your daily budget on that?
$295. Spending
$295. Okay. So it's spending it.
It's spending exactly what it needs to spend. And the reason why is we said, okay, in the same campaign, when it was one big campaign, what did California spend last 30 days? So we took that amount, divided it by 30.4 and set it as a daily ad spend here. So this is basically keeping on what it used to do.
Got it.
But
no
then,
scaling yet. You're just trying
scaling.
the new strategy. Got it. Makes sense.
Then you clone that campaign, change the keywords from broad match to exact match, stick it in the max clicks campaign. This campaign says, well, I could double the amount of traffic plus the people that are coming in here that I'm buying that are high quality and really cheap at $1.16. These people, when they're ready to come back, this thing is going to then scoop it up and convert them at a high CPC. This is when it's ready to be sold as a conversion rather than sold as a traffic. Google's like, 5X now, baby. Well, great. I have a campaign already set up and ready to go. And our tag have already been tagged and our RLSI is already ready to go.
Yeah.
So this is my feeder engine. But what's really interesting is if we didn't make any sort of changes, the same ad spend in the same territory with literally the same TCPA goals, whatever the goal was set in the main campaign, I just brought it over. It was 600. And I said, okay, cool. Keep it 600. Let's not change anything. We're just going to bolt on the max click strategy. And that thing converted at almost over a 3X return from a bolt on for 1/5 of the CPC. Because what's stupid interesting, what I love about this breakthrough that we're having is this thing said, I can't spend because I don't know. This one says I can spend because I don't care. And there's our hidden there's our hidden people. Same exact keywords.
I would never think like the max clicks would actually get any, in this case, booking payment info submitted. Like that's the conversion action that you ultimately want, right? It's the conversion action that the client really cares about. Point is like, I wouldn't think that the max clicks would actually do that. Like what's happening? Why is that happening?
It's because this campaign here at the TCPA was only limiting its spend because it says, you know what? Ralph's search is now he's searching.
Yeah.
At the time when Ralph clicks enter, the decision is made on Google. Actually, let me just stop sharing screen. The decision is made at Google to say, I don't know if Ralph is going to convert. So I'm not going to bid on Ralph. That's what TCPA does.
Okay.
What we're identifying is, can Google not scale because it doesn't know? Or can Google not scale because it doesn't think that it can convert?
Got it.
Doesn't know it can convert and doesn't think it can convert are way two separate things.
I'm in an audience that can convert. It's selectively picking and choosing who to actually target because it has a high degree of certainty that they're going to actually be the ones that buy. Whereas it's negating the other 80% that might be buying, but just maybe aren't giving the indication that they're ready to buy right now.
Yep. So the way that
Max Clicks picks that up.
Exactly. And the way that you stack the deck on that, the way that you, and I'll share screen again, the way that you stack the deck is, I click share. Would you mind sharing when you have a moment, sir?
Sorry. I'm out of, I have to do my producer. Let's do a role. They don't pay me to be a producer here. Maybe someday we'll actually get a producer. But anyway, for right now, it's just me and you. Anyway, go ahead. You are sharing screen.
Yep. So in this one here, this max clicks, the way that I say, hey, I don't care that they may or may not convert. I just need to get the click and I need it to be a high quality and I need it to be high intent. And if they convert on the first click, great. If they don't convert on the first click, the other campaign says, I got it from here. If they come back, exactly. So what we did is we took a look at the main campaign that went back 90 days, said, give me the top 10-ish, the top 10, the breakouts of the keywords that work well. Those are the only keywords that we're going to be using in all of our locations. So an amalgamation, a consolidation of all of the keywords that worked in every state across the country for the last 3 months. We just took the top 10%, and that's going to be our max clicks. Those are the highest intent, highest quality, highest relevancy to say, give me all of those. I want all those clicks. So we call them the top performers.
Got it.
And those top performers now are an exact match. And then these exact match, I have 26% click-through rate, 75, 20, 25, 21, 16. Unbelievable click-through rates. We're at 25% click-through rates. That is fantastic. This isn't search terms. This is search keywords getting 25% click-through rate. Then flip that over to the TCPA and those broad matches. Now we're just going to get a whole bunch of like small clicks, good click-through rates, high CPCs, but really efficient conversions.
Right.
So this is what basically is going to say, okay, I don't know if the other one says, I don't know if they're going to convert. This one says, I do know that they're going to convert, and they're going to convert on search terms that are kind of odd. And I only have like 2 because Google's infinite wisdom says, hey, we're going to hide that last one here. But the one in here that we got from here is things like, really specific. I don't want to start naming out search terms when this live goes live in the future, but you can see that they're hyper specific, a little bit more bottom of the funnel, a little bit more little bit more targeted, actionable, executable search terms, but it's anywhere that they're at in their journey. Google knows they're close to the end and it bids because they are, this one right here is pretty close to that. Like this one right here, there is out of 2 search keywords in one keyword, I have 2 words in the search keyword, only one keyword here matched one of 4 keywords in that search term. So it's like, close enough, but I know that person's going to convert. So 1 impression, 1 click, 1 conversion.
How stuff has changed.
I know, right? So it went from
unbelievable.
It went from selling traffic to selling leads. And this thing is basically kind of pushing us back into now we're going to be able to buy traffic and buy leads. And we're going to be able to start our own traffic campaigns to then generate our own leads that we get to buy.
Right.